Morning guys, so I've updated most of the sheets and some of the stuff in the Discord, and also given an update on where we're heading with things on the fire trades and things like that. So I'm just gonna, share the screen. And yesterday I did two videos, part 1 and 2 on the US30, okay, where I was looking at obviously the continuation up. We had an ABC leg, and I put fibs on the 1 hour, which played into the 5 minute for the entry, into the 71 area for an entry on the buy, fallen from the sell that I called in. I did this on the videos in front of you, player by player, and we caught some great profits. The paper trading that I've gotten here, we started at a 10k account. I've now grown that to over 40k, thanks to yesterday's playbook, player by player. And I do believe that the structure here is going to hold, and we might see the up move. Okay, so from that, I'm going to see if I can grab a few bits of profit today, moving up into my initial bias thought process. Okay, so I'm going to take it down to 5 minute, and I'm going to mark. This might look a hot mess at the moment. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it as it is, because it's got some directional bias things on it at the moment. So excuse the bit of a mess at the moment. So I've got here an imbalanced area. Okay, it's been mitigated for sure. I'm just gonna, let's have a look, imbalance. So as we move further into that, we can see we've come into play beautifully into around about 50% of that. It's starting to make its move up. I'm going to go down to a 2 minute chart from that, from the imbalance. Okay, and because this imbalance has been met on the slightly higher time frame, I'm just going to start marking up like what I did the other day with regards to the trends. Okay, so I can see on here, okay, as we've come down on here, bounce, 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 we've come down. It hasn't quite topped or bottomed out on here. Okay, it's a bit of a range there. And then it started moving out. It's moved out of the trend line. Okay, broke it. It's retested, come in. It's come up, and it's broke the structure of this. Okay, so that's been a break of structure. Okay, we're going to anticipate continuing to go higher to start off with. So I'm going to sort of maybe put this into play here. Long position, place this around about here, structure there. Okay, so if I go back up to the 5 minutes, and again, excuse the hot mess at the moment, we're going to see if we can grab a nice 1 to 7 overall. Okay, so we're going to have a buy limit here. I'm going to place that in. I'm going to put the stop loss to just on here. Take profit up to here. So about 2 grand in there. And like I say, let's just make this a 1 to 5. So I've got, on the lower time frame, I've got an order block on here at the moment. We have had a break of structure. Let's go down to 2 minutes again. We have had a break of structure out of here. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for a continuation up. We're going to wait for it to fail. We're going to wait for it to come back into touch and then go higher. Okay, because after all, what we've got is we've got liquidity built up here as well. Okay, target on these areas. We could target these areas, and this is on the lower time frame. Those are like target areas that we could go to. Ultimately, my directional bias from yesterday was on the upside on the 1 hour. This was the liquidity high side area. Okay, we're just going to see if we can get some super tight entries. This hasn't ended as of yet. Okay, we're only risking about so many pounds per pip. We are in a really good equity. We started this at 10k yesterday. So the trade journal I need to look at, or let's just have a look. Account history. You can say here we grabbed some great profits. The other day. I mean, I got on here, we got a 16k the other day, an 8k, 2k, a 50 pounder, and I got a 2.3k. So we're just waiting. Overall, I'm waiting for, we've had a break of structure here. I'm waiting for the play back down into the order block and then target these areas here. Ultimately, I'm heading for the top side, but that'll be my play at the moment with regards to this. We'll see what happens. Just put in the curve. So I'm waiting for this to come down. Okay. I'm waiting for that. Change out to red. And then a continuation touch up onto that. From that, that'll be green. Go back up to the higher time frame just so it doesn't look as messy. So if you were to get in on the trades on this, okay, you could take partials as we come down. There's a nice 1-to-1 there. There's a 1-to-1.48. There's a 1-to-2.26. But I ultimately want to see the 1-to-5. We'll see if this plays in. See if this comes in our order block. I'll pause the video. We'll be back in a short while. Hi guys, let's just take a look. See where we are. Need to share the screen. Just been having a cup of tea and I've seen this trade's been activated. We're in a little bit of drawdown. We'll see the directional play will hold. We are looking at a 1-to-5. We'll see. We'll get the continuation up. Okay. So yeah, the trade is now activated. Again, we would possibly look to be taking partials on the way up. The overall profit, if it was to come through, put that under there, it would be just under 2k. I've got the stop loss just below where that area is on the imbalance. I got a little bit further in, to be honest. It's worth the risk. I've got the risk to reward of 1, just under the 1-to-5, to be fair, because what I have on the trading view, I'll always put a little bit of a cushion for the spread, if that makes sense. We'll see if this holds, see if it runs play by play. I'm just going to go down to 5 minutes. You can see I got in a little bit higher up. It has came down at the drawdown a bit. I've got the stop loss hanging just below where the tool of the risk to reward is. We'll see if this whole structure, see if it plays out, and then I'll be back in a short while to give you an update. And then from there, if we do get the break of structures, okay, I'll be looking at order block entries to stage on the way up as well, because I still think the directional bias on this is to the upside. Okay, guys, so I will see you in a bit. So update again, guys. Yes, the screen is going to look a bit of a hot mess at the moment from where we were on yesterday. I need to leave these on because I called this yesterday. There was a nice 1-to-3.55. My overall directional bias based upon the 1 hour. Okay, we just look into this. We've got the ABC leg coming down in the entry of the 0.71 from the sell. I've got a 5-minute entry on the sell yesterday into the 1 hour buy area of the 0.71. Okay. My directional bias overall, I'm just going to put the lock on that. My directional bias overall was to come up and purge out of the higher high here. So we've got the move on the ABC leg, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, which was here, and then take on to the higher high. However, we are sort of teetering around where this ABC leg sort of started to wane off. towards late last night, 11 p.m. UK time, and it started to come back down. Now, is this just trying to create more liquidity to sort of induce selling because this high area didn't get taken? We will have to wait and see. However, my bias and structure still holding for this overall player. Okay, and then I drilled it down to a 5 minutes or like a 5 minute breaker structure on here. Okay, coming back down into the order block. We are in some drawdown at the moment. It's been teetering around here, but what I want to see is once we get this breaker structure here, okay, once we get this breaker structure on, check that lock off. Once I get this breaker structure, that's the one I'm looking at the moment. So that's the liquidity area I'm looking for to be grabbed at the moment with this price action here. I'm going to drill it down to 2 minutes. So I'm halving the candle structure down, and then I'll be looking for an order block at the moment. We're now starting to bump into a little bit of profit. Okay. Overall, I still think the structure play is going to be to here. However, I think price might even spike to as high as here at the moment. And the reason I get onto this part is just a simple technique that I use. It doesn't always work. However, from time to time, it does work pretty well, to be honest. When you're getting the push on the legs, let's take a look. You've got your B to C, okay. When you're coming back down onto here, you're looking at around about the push from here, and you can see, looking from where the entry is. Okay, when you get the drive, the 3 push drive sort of thing, you look, we'll come down into the entry. I'm possibly looking price to even possibly target towards that area there. It's a simple retail technique. Again, retail methods don't always work, but we'll see. We're now healthily in a little bit of profit on this now. Just to take it down to 15 minutes. We're now at about 60 to 70 pounds worth or dollars worth of profit. We're now taking this into like the floating profit here at the moment. I'm going to see if this gives us the drive. I'm going to set an alert here. So if this breaks a structure or heads towards that, I'll get an alert. I can then go down to obviously the 5 minute and 2 minutes and start looking at structure my way up onto the directional bias from yesterday. We'll see if we can take much profit out of this today. Again, on my main account, what I look for on my challenges, my live accounts, I try and go for short bursts, okay, because less is more, little and often, you know. Try and get the short bursts, smash and grab, get your profits you need, be happy with it, take it out. However, for sharpening the skills and a bigger bird's eye view, a 30-foot sort of bird's eye view on the actual price, action price movement, I do this sort of stuff and record myself day to day, so it keeps my skills sharpened for one of two things. Okay, I'm just going to look that up again. One, it's let me look at the overall bias on a higher time frame, and two, it's let me drill down into a lower time frame to see if I can get these smash and grab techniques. And as you can see at the moment, I'm gaining around about just over $100 of profit there. We'll see if this holds. We'll see if it continues. And then obviously, hopefully you're taking a little bit of something out of this. It's just an over-the-shoulder look at what I look on a day-to-day basis. Okay, guys? So I'm just going to minimize that down to here. Well, my next run of play, I'm going to wait for this to alert me. And then we'll see if we can drill it down to a 2 minute to start looking at order blocks to come back down to mitigate, to take us in the directional bias of what we played from yesterday. Okay, guys, so I'll speak to you soon. Hi, guys, so we're now looking as if it's pushing towards where my alarm was going to go off, around about 160 odd with profit at the moment. We'll see what's going to hold. We'll go down to 5 minutes. There's the alert going off. So we're going to get a breaker structure, most certainly. I'm going to wait for the confirmation of a closer candle, to be honest. So again, I've got the lock on. Let's just drill this in. So just waiting for this candle to play out, to be fair. Okay. Always wait for a closer candle, because this might have just wicked over this area. Yeah, it's a little bit messy, but again, I'm keeping everything on from yesterday. And the reason I'm doing that on my chart, keeping everything on, is simply because my overall directional bias is what I'm heading towards. What I'm seeing, if I can micromanage the trades and grab bits and pieces as we go into it. So again, the profit at the moment, you're looking at it's just shooting over the 280. It's going to go into the 300s soon with a bit of luck. We've definitely got that breaker structure. It's wicked out of it, but I still want to see a closer candle. We're going to let the minute run out, and then we'll see what happens from there. Overall, yes, that does look a mess, but I called that trade from yesterday 1 to 3.55 into a nice buy-in situation, one into the other, which was beautiful, into the 0.71 on the 1 hour fib. Okay. And then from there, if you'd seen the video yesterday, I staged at least another 2 grand out of this overall move on the way up. I got out of the trade yesterday just before, you see this here, and this is just a confirmation. I got out of the trade here. See where this is telling you where I'm getting in on the buys. Okay, this is telling you what I get in on the sells. Okay, so got in on the sell here, as you can see, the little red. This is where I got in on the sell, more or less to the pip. Rode the baby down, got out of it there, got in on the entries on here. Okay, it came up. I got in on a second entry, because if we go down into a lower time frame, there was order blocks, fair value gaps, or imbalance, if you want to call it that. And then I was riding the breaker structure, retracement into the order block, get that extra entry. Okay, close those entries out here, which was the perfect time to do that, because we sank all the way back down again. Okay, so from here up to here, obviously I'd stopped trading for the day, got up this morning, seeing this imbalance was formed from yesterday. Okay, and just ignore the hot mess. I just like to keep the data there so I can go back on my videos and look at my trading journal and what I've been doing on a day-to-day. So as we flagged, this is a beautiful impulsive move up. We're flagging back down into the imbalance area. Okay, and then from there we've sort of mitigated into that. And then I was looking at getting in on the trades on this. Okay, so we had a breaker structure here going down onto the lower time frame of 5 minutes, and then I got in on an entry here, and the entry on here, which at the moment we have now closed out. We've had the breaker structure. If you just bear with me, I'm just going to maximize this, seeing if there's a chance of a possible second entry or not. Let's take a look. So if I mark this out and I look at something like, we've got a little bit of imbalance there, you see. For a long position, get that mitigated into here. I was up here, sorry guys. Get this up here. That goes up there as well. We'll get the lock on there. So I've got a possible, go into here, take off the lock. Go the higher time frame. Got the chance of a possible entry again of around about this area here. Go to buy limit, stop loss, take profit. Want stop loss around about there. Where's the take profit? There's the take profit there. Take that take profit up. See if we can get another couple of grand out of that. Order. Go back down to 5 minutes. See if we hit the entry, and then we'll take it from there, guys. At the moment, it's coming back down from a couple of £100. It might hit into the buy limit area. See if we can ride some more profits up. See if we can get some more money out of this today. So we're looking at a 1 to 7 just about. Go back up to the half hour. And that's it. I'll see if this trade enters. It may do. So at the moment, the trades we've got at the moment is a 1 to 5. And then we've got the possibility of a 1 to 7. That's if the trades go further up. The price at the moment, it's on around about $90 of profit. We may touch into the order block. And again, it does look a hot mess, but we're riding the the lower time frame into the higher time frame bias. So okay. So yesterday, this was a 1 to 355 into just under a 1 to 7. This would still be in play. We've now got a 1 to 5 and a 1 to 7 on here as well. See if it holds structure, see if it still plays out on the general bias, and then we'll take it from there, guys. I'll be back in a second. So as you can see, guys, we've now got that second entry because we've had the break of structure. It's combined it into the one trade. If that makes sense, this was on a 1-0. Okay, so I've kept the stop loss to just below on here, but there is now 2 entries based upon these 2 areas from a break of structure into the order block, break of structure into the order block. See if we can get the further push up. Again, there was just a wicked out area on this, on the liquidity grab here. Again, if you go down to a 2 minute, just to refine everything, I'm just going to lock that up. I think this is just sort of starting to wean out, to be fair. I don't think we're going to get any sort of, where we've had the flag down on here. I don't think we're going to get the big push up on here. I would like to think we would, because my overall bias from yesterday would have been spot on. I'm simply playing at this stage, playing into this, okay? So where this has come down, if we go up to a 30 minute, okay? You can see the 30 minutes, there was just selling pressure, right? Now, what I've done from that is I'm looking for the reversal of that selling pressure. And this has created, like I say, areas of liquidity from the selling side as the downward pressure is coming in. So I'm trying to attack that leg at the moment from the half hour. And we're steadily coming out. We're taking each area as it goes, okay? So I really want to see, obviously, the higher end to be taken. I mean, this at the minute. Let's just take a look, excuse me. So as we're coming out, we've attacked that. We've brought the structure along here. We've come in to attack the order block down here. I want to see a further move up towards that area there. I'm just going to get rid of that one there. So we'll see what happens with this. Again, I do these little videos I do post them in the group, but I do this on a day-to-day basis, and I look back on things that I've done myself throughout the day, just to sort of clarify the movements that I've looked at, the directional bias, what I've looked at, why I've entered, look at what I'm entering. And again, yesterday, we took some nice profits yesterday. Took a little bit of a hit this morning, but again, that does not bother me because we started this on a 10K paper trade account. It's now over 40K. Yes, I took a 300 hit this morning, but I took nearly four and a half, just over 4.6K yesterday. So I'm just riding the crest of my directional bias that I done yesterday and getting in on the smaller, lower time frame entries. That's going to head into my directional bias, and that's what this is all about. Again, we've identified this morning that half-hour downward pressure, and again, we will have imbalance things inside of this area. Marked out my areas on the 5 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to lock that up again. Mark my areas out on the 5 minutes where I'm looking for liquidity areas. But when we get the break of structure, I'm taking it down to a 2 minute where I'm looking for the retracement back into the order blocks, which is what we've ended so far today. So, like I say, on the bigger picture, there's a 1 to 3.55. This green shaded area was going in from the sell into the buy. Okay, this was a 1 to 6.14, I think it was. And now, because we've gone super refined into the lower time frames, okay, based upon structure points here, I've got a, like I say, a 1 to, what's this? A 1 to 4.95, or a 1 to 5, as I call it this morning. There it is there. And then we've got a 1 to 7. Will the structure hold? Hopefully it does, because what, like I say, overall, if I get the lower time frame, push and break the structures, enter in on those, on the crest of the waves on the way up, we're going to be getting profit. Yes, I've got this as the liquidity sort of area that I would sort of hope it will go to, but based upon what I said this morning on the ABC leg, as you get the A retracement down to the B, from the 0 to the A side, you're looking at that leg being equal to the initial inertia push, which would possibly head us towards this area. Doesn't always happen, but when you get the 3-pin push drive, you'll generally get the legs. After the small retracement coming in, you would generally get an equal push or a move based upon the initial first leg drive, you know. So I'm enjoying putting these together. It's been a while since I've actually sort of done my over the shoulder videos. We're now heading nicely into profit again. My challenge on my Forex funds, I used, like I said, I'll go back on this as well. I use my challenges more methodically. Okay, so I want to just get in and get out, smash and grabs. I know if I did this sort of trading on the challenges, I could possibly be through a challenge within a day or two, to be fair. But I like to be methodical, because when you get into your live account or your funded account has been ticked off and you have access to the full numbers, you need to be able to control your emotions. You need to be able to control your risk to reward, and you need to be able to just smash and grab and get the profits as and when you can. Okay, with what I'm doing here, it's looking at everything from a bigger bird's eye view, looking at the bigger scale. This is what we have to work in. This is obviously the 1 hour time frame. Let's drill it down. Is the directional bias going our way? From there, let's micromanage the trades from within those sort of legs or pushes from the ABC moves. And let's see if we can grab more profits. Okay, so again, in time of talking what's going on there, I'm now nearly 1K into profit. We could get another entry. Let's take a look. We've had a break of structure here. Let's just take a look. We've had a break of structure here. So I could get another entry maybe halfway down to here, to be fair. But I'm going to let this play out. I'm happy with where it's at the moment. we've got one or two live in there. We just need to let this play out and then see what happens. Okay, guys. So I will see you in a short while. All right, hi guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close everything out there for today. We've got some nice profit there, another 600 and odd just to show you. But I hope, hopefully this is just showing you what to look at when you're looking at your directional bias, the higher time frames, drilling it down. Again, just to reiterate what I've gone over there this morning. I did get up this morning and I was looking at what we had with regards to a big push out. Okay, so we're now nearly on to 41k. Fantastic results at the moment. So we've got a 1 to 3.55. This is where we're at. 1 to 3.55 yesterday. Directional bias wise, we're still in structure of the 1 to 7 or just under 1 to 7 on the bigger player. Okay, the entry came from a 0.71 area of this here, the initial drive up. If I just do that and then just go onto the system and put the template of the banker's fibs, we come in to touch the entry. As you can see, we wicked into it beautifully. From there, I was targeting the higher time frame 1 hour leg, right? Also, the B to C maneuver, just to show you, the B to C, which is the drive, okay? I'm looking at, obviously the entry was here. I'm looking at this here. You can see where the entry is. I'm looking for the retracement to then give us another drive similar to the inertia push of the B to C leg up to that. Don't think it'll get there. We'll see if it can do. However, going on the trades from this morning, we had the engulfing move, okay? We had this here. We had an engulfing move out, which went to a peak at around about 11 o'clock late last night. Started getting a flag pattern back into the imbalanced area, okay? So I seen this as an opportunity. I drilled it down and I was looking at the sort of imbalanced stuff, the 5 minutes. You can see the 5 minute imbalance area, played into it beautifully. There is other sort of fibs you can put on these things to get into it. But within that, I seen this drive down, this flag down. I went back up to the half hour, okay? Went back up to the half hour and seen there was an inertia drive of selling all the way down, okay? So with this being said, I knew there was going to be some sort of retracement back into the selling power of this morning. So we went back to the 5 minutes. And then I started marking out my areas of liquidity from that half hour, okay? So from that half hour area, okay, I marked out an imbalance area, a liquidity pool area, went down to 5 minutes, and then just waited for breaker structures out of this area, come back into play to the order blocks, entry 1, entry 2. We've bagged a nice bit of profit today from doing that. We've taken just over $600 and odd. Yes, took a hit, so that'll take that back down to 300. But I think overall, the initial bias on what I'm doing on this, the play-by-play, the initial bias on this, we will possibly see the push. Will it complete this leg? We'll have to wait and see. It's just about me sharpening my skills on doing these sort of things. So we've got a 1 to 3.55 overall structure being held on the initial one from yesterday, 1 to 7. I've now got a 1 to 5. And I've got a 1 to 7 there, but I've closed those out. I'm going to keep these on the chart, see if that holds structure, okay? And then we'll see where we are overall by the play today, because we will be coming up to the New York session in the next few hours, okay, guys? So I hope you're enjoying these little bits of videos I put together. I'll catch you all inside the Discord. See you all later.